He got him. He struck out the side. Deep to left field. You've got to be kidding me. It is a Saturday afternoon in downtown Houston, Texas, where today, inside Minute Maid Park, the Astros and A's play the middle game of this three-game weekend series. The A's winning last night 5-1. The Astros still hold the best record in the AL West and the second best record in the American League. You see the top five teams currently in the AL. The Astros 3.5 games behind the Yankees for the top record in the American League. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. We'll hear from Kaylee Griffin in just a little while. Blummer, just 2 games to go until the All-Star break, a chance to finish strong for the Astros.
It is. They're playing the Oakland A's, a team they should beat up on. We all got our rest last night, so today should be a little bit different story.
For the Astros, when they don't allow 4 earned runs, that usually bodes well. They have an excellent record in that scenario.
Yeah, they do a very good job. 4 runs seems enough for this Astros starting staff and bullpen. They've done a very good job. The win percentage obviously dictates that. The Astros have done a very good job of getting those runs, but for me, it's really that bullpen, the best in all of the American League with that ERA, shutting these games out.
And when you need a pitcher who's going to allow 4 earned runs or less, the best at Texas power pitcher driven by 4, Justin Verlander on the mound.
Yeah, he's got 54 wins with the Houston Astros. Remember when he got traded over here? We just assumed he was going to come over here in 2017, boost that rotation, and get him through the World Series. He did exactly that, and then came back to the Astros, and he has put up incredible numbers in that Astros uniform. The 54 wins are great, but the averages when he goes out there is what makes it more impressive. He is the leader in this rotation, going 6 2/3 consistently, really leading the way for the Astros.
Incredible whip, walks and hits divided by inning pitch of 0.75. When we come back, we will hear from Kaylee Griffin. She'll talk about one of the better defensive plays of the year in last night's game, and also all the top plays for the Astros in 2022 defensively.
So many ways that you can point to the success of this Astros team once again this season. Starts with the pitching staff. They've been so consistent and so good throughout this season. Offensively, the team has some really strong bats, and even when the hits aren't there, they find a way to grind it out. Defensively, though, is where this team continues to shine. They somehow find a way to make some remarkably challenging plays look easy, and this team, all the players in the clubhouse, they just find a way to make it look easy. The team takes so much pride in their defense, and that's why they have continued to be one of the best teams in baseball. It's not only what they're doing, it's the numbers that back it up. The Astros have 164 outs above average since 2018. The next closest team to have that is the Atlanta Braves, who have gone 68. Houston has just dominated, and while the team is trying to just get their all-stars into the All-Star break so they can get out to LA and the rest of the team can remain and get some rest, they're still taking pride in the defense. Jose Siri was a perfect example of that last night. Out in right field, he made the first 5-star catch for the team this season. Just a 15% catch probability, and there was no diving involved. Remember, he had just ended up in the stands a few plays before, and this was one of the most challenging pitches and plays of the season. Since 2019, there have only been 5 5-star catches by Astros right fielders. Siri joined a list featuring Josh Reddick, George Springer, and Kyle Tucker. And Jose Siri, of course, one of the flashiest players on this team, taking a lot of pride in the defense any way he can. Coming up, the Astros are looking to utilize their strong defensive play here today as they try to bounce back. Their ace, Justin Verlander, is on the mound. He's certainly looking to put on a show with his 9th All-Star selection. 11 wins for him already this year. First pitch is minutes away from Minute Maid Park. Astros and A's is coming up next.
By Gallery Furniture. If made in America is important to you, shop Gallery Furniture today. And by Lone Star College. Enroll now. Saturday afternoon baseball from Minute Maid Park. Astros and A's, middle game of this 3-game series. A quick homestand before the All-Star break, and Justin Verlander on the mound today for Houston.
It's always good to see JV in that Astro uniform. Today donning that Space City uni on the season. 16 starts, Cy Young type numbers with that 2.0 ERA and that sub-1 whip. Last time he was on the mound was about 9 days ago against the Kansas City Royals. He went 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and struck out 8.
Here's a lineup that Verlander will face today for the Oakland A's. Vimiel Machine will lead off at third base. Ramon Laureano out in right field. Sean Murphy will catch and bat third. Seth Brown, the cleanup hitter in left field. Elvis Andrews plays shortstop. Sky Bolt coming off his first career 3-hit game last night. He'll bat 6. Sheldon Noisy in the lineup. He'll be the designated hitter and bat 7th. Dermis Garcia makes his first major league start at first base. And Nick Allen batting 9th at second base. The Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. Kyle Tucker, after a DH day, back in the lineup in the field. Tucker playing right field. Jake Myers and Chaz McCormick also out there. On the infield, Alex Bregman and Jeremy Pena on the left side. Aledmus Diaz and Yuli Gurriel on the right side. Verlander on the mound. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Ready to go on a Saturday. Astros with 58 wins on the season. 58 and 31 overall, playing game number 90 on the year. They currently lead the red-hot Seattle Mariners by 10 games in the AL West. Mariners have won 12 in a row. They will play in Arlington later on against the Texas Rangers. The A's still, despite the win, have the worst record in the American League at 31 and 60. They have played better on the road this year. They are 20 and 29 on the road, have only 11 wins inside the Oakland Coliseum this season.
Twice as good on the road, playing in front of probably 3 times as many fans.
Ready to go, and the first pitch from Verlander is fouled away by Vimiel Machine. Verlander working on extended rest for his second consecutive start. Justin had 7 days in between his start at Citi Field against the Mets and his start against Kansas City on July 7th. Now 8 days of rest, as he was on a pace to throw over 200 innings coming off Tommy John surgery. So the Astros tapped the brakes a little bit with Verlander's consent and gave him a little extra time here, the final 2 starts before the All-Star break.
Not a bad idea. Talked about the big lead in the West for the Astros. Are able to make some adjustments to their rotation and their lineup to give guys some rest.
Verlander starting for the second time this year against the A's, the 26th career start against Oakland. Machine fouls one back. Vimiel Machine was selected from Las Vegas on the final day of June, and since then has played in 12 of 13 games. Getting a chance to play regularly at third base. He played in 15 games for Oakland last year. Verlander and Maldonado trying to get together on this selection for the 1-2 pitch. And Machine fouls it away. Verlander starts the day with an even ERA of 2. Thrown 103 1/3 innings this year. Now one missing down and in, 2-2.
Good try with the slider down there. It's been a lot of fastballs for Astros pitchers against Machine. And you can see with him fouling him off towards that third base side, he's just a little bit tardy on some of those fastballs.
Extended at bat here, the first at bat of the game for the A's leadoff hitter Vimiel Machine. Verlander starting today, will not pitch in that All-Star game on Tuesday. He would only have 3 days rest in between. Actually, just 2 days rest in between. So he's going to go out there, be recognized as an All-Star, but Verlander will not be pitching in that game. The Astros have 5 All-Stars. Altuve was originally going to be the starting second baseman for the Astros, not in the lineup today in the field, but he's in the lineup as a designated hitter after being hit by a pitch. So Jose is now going to miss the All-Star game. He's going to tend to that sore left knee during the break.
Uncle.
Verlander keeps delivering strikes, and Machine keeps fouling them away. 9 pitches in, 7 strikes.
He's had a couple opportunities at hittable sliders and fastballs, just can't get the head out on it.
This one in play to second base where Aledmys Diaz is. Makes the play for out number 1.
Let's check out StatCast powered by Google Cloud, showing you the pitch usage for Justin Verlander. Heavy on that four-seamer almost 50% of the time. Then he will get to that slider against right-handed hitters. Low averages against all those. The curveball occasionally mixing in there. Against left-handed hitters, you're going to see that fastball become more prominent as he gets on that curveball and slider. Pretty even mix between that curveball and slider. Does a good job with that slider to both right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters.
Drops in the curveball on Ramon Laureano for his strike.
Will be interesting to watch Justin in this ball game after seeing Urquidy throw a ton of curveballs and sliders yesterday to this Athletics team.
Follows up the curveball with a slider, and Laureano down to the count 0-2.
Slider early on looking good. Good sharp, crisp break on that pitch.
Laureano in his career against Verlander 1 for 9 with 5 strikeouts. Add another strikeout to that total as Verlander makes quick work of the A's right fielder. 3-pitch strikeout. JV's first strikeout of the game.
Mattress Firm Supermo is going to show us some of the movement on that pitch. You're also going to see how it comes out of Justin's hand. Gets on the side of it, pulls across, and just yanks that across the plate, getting away from Laureano.
Good sign early with that slider.
Very.
Now here's Sean Murphy. Murphy had a double in 4 at bats last night. Continues to be the A's best hitter over the last month or so, hitting .307 his last 31 games. Fouls back the 1-0 pitch. By the way, you see Verlander, and Blummer mentioned it, wearing the Space City uniforms. Normally that is a uniform for a Monday, but today is NASA Day here at the ballpark as we celebrate the anniversary of Apollo 11 landing on the moon. We'll have a special guest in our booth in the bottom half of the second inning. Ann McClain, Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Army and NASA astronaut, will join us in the booth. She threw out the first pitch of the game today. So the Astros going with their Space City uniforms on a Saturday, the Nike City Connect uniform. We were talking earlier, I don't remember JV pitching in these Nike City Connect uniforms. He's got the good look with the shoes going along with the uni today.
Yeah, what's great about these City Connect uniforms, those shoe companies do a great job of accommodating and adapting and coordinating. Not as well as those guys. Shouldn't they be down in Sugarland?
The Space Cowboy. 1-2 pitch is just enough for Murphy to stay alive. Maldi tried to corral that foul tip. He is so good at that normally. He gets frustrated with himself when he can't pick up those foul tips, but it stays 1-2.
Murphy's probably turning around going, didn't that hurt? And Maldi's like, no. I didn't feel anything. I was trying to catch it.
He's amazing when it comes to foul tips, trying to go after them. Just missed with a fastball 1-2. Murphy with a take on a close pitch.
That was a really good eye by Sean Murphy, or he figured he had no chance on her. MD Anderson strike zone just below that down and away corner.
Their chopper off the plate. Bregman comes in and can't make the short hop on the second bounce. Bregman had a do or die play there, and the ball glanced off his glove. Murphy will reach with 2 outs. That'll be an infield hit for Sean Murphy.
I think Bregman made the right decision trying to come get that on that short in-between hop. If he stays back far enough to get that long hop, I think that allows Murphy to get enough speed going towards first to beat it out. So that might have been the only choice for Alex.
So a chopping first hit for the Oakland A's tonight. Here's Seth Brown. Brown, one of 3 left-hand hitters in the lineup. There's 2 lefties, the leadoff hitter, Brown, and then a switch hitter, Sky Bolt. Justin starts off Seth Brown with a breaking ball for his strike, 0-1. 16 of the first 20 pitches for strikes. JV locked in early. This one fouled out of play, and the count's 0-2. A's have played better baseball lately as they head to the All-Star break. It has been a tough year for Oakland, but they have won 5 of their last 10 games. Overall, 31-60 on the year. That one misses off the plate, 1-2. Astros seeing the A's 6 times in the last 9 games leading into the All-Star break. Then they'll also see them on the second leg of their first road trip after the break. Foul tip caught by Maldonado. There it is. Maldi comes up with that one, and that'll be a strikeout for Verlander. 2 strikeouts in the inning as the A's fail in the top half of the first. Jose Altuve back in the lineup. He'll DH and lead off when we come back. Altuve will DH for the 2nd time this year and lead off. He'll be followed by Jeremy Pena and Alex Bregman. Kyle Tucker, the lone lefty in the lineup, hits 4th. Aledmus Diaz, Yuli Gurriel, Jake Myers 5 through 7. Chas McCormick continues to hit lefties well. He'll bat 8th. And Martin Maldonado with a solid OPS of 986 this month will bat 9th.
Left-hander Jared Koenig is on the mound for the Oakland Athletics. He was recalled from Vegas Tuesday, make his 2nd stint with the Oakland A's. 4 starts this season, has a 6.38. That whip, walks and hits per inning pitch, is at 1.75, and a lot of the reason for that is the average against him at 288 and 11 walks, which is 1 more than strikeouts he has this season.
Koenig, 4 of his 5 starts coming on the road this year, as he is coming off a couple of shaky outings at the AAA level for Las Vegas, allowing 11 runs in 11 innings in those 2 outings. Faces the Houston Astros here, and the first pitch to Altuve is a high strike. Vic Carapazza calling that first one a strike. Next one upstairs for a ball, 1-1. Koenig, a 28-year-old rookie the Astros seeing for the first time. As Altuve fouls one back to the screen, 1-2. Originally drafted by the White Sox back when there were a lot of rounds in the draft, 35th round in 2014. White Sox did not sign him. They spent a lot of their money that year signing Carlos Rodon out of NC State. So Koenig went unsigned, and then he was back in school at Old Dominion. So it's the battle of Old Dominion pitchers today with Justin Verlander against Jared Koenig.
It's kind of cool.
Koenig then went to Cal State Monterey Bay. Altuve looking at a fastball for a called strike. Expecting something different there with a 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, it must have been 91 miles an hour. Here's the pitch usage for Jared Koenig. He's going to throw that two-seamer quite a bit. Then he's going to have that curveball changeup. We saw two cutters in that at-bat against Jose Altuve. He was looking for some movement. You better sit soft. Koenig topped out right there at 91 miles an hour. He's averaging 89 miles an hour on his fastball. On the left-handed side, the curveball. Cutter is going to get in there with that two-seamer. So he likes to sit on that two-seamer. If he throws that four-seamer, it's going to be on that inside corner.
Jeremy Pena will bat. Pena went 1 for 4 last night with a base hit to right field. Grounds this one just foul down the third baseline. And it counts 1-1. Pena back in that 2 spot. He's hit well this year against the Angels, not quite as well against the A's coming off that series with Los Angeles. The A's have held him to a 190 average this season. Koenig was ready to go, and Vic Carapazza a late time call. Another one grounded foul. A lot of stops in the independent leagues for Jared Koenig before the A's signed him and got him back into affiliated ball last year. 6 different teams in independent baseball, including pitching in the Australian Baseball League for Auckland, New Zealand. Swing and a miss. He picked up a couple of strikeouts here to start this game. A guy in Koenig who has not struck out more than 4 in any of his previous starts has back-to-back strikeouts to start this game.
This curveball starts down and breaks well down out of the zone. Convinced Pena to go after it for the strikeout.
His last start in Kansas City, June 25th, his last major league start. He struck out 4, which was his high total of his first 4 major league starts. This one popped up on the infield, and Dermis Garcia, making his major league debut as a starter, puts that one away for the final out. A 10-pitch first inning for Jared Koenig, a couple of strikeouts and a pop-up.
Today's Discover matchup, it's Justin Verlander's career against the Athletics, a combo of the regular season and playoffs. 30 starts, 25 of those quality starts, 199 innings pitched, make it 200 now, a 2.40 ERA with an opponent batting average of 195. Safe to say Justin Verlander has had a bit of success in his career against Oakland. He's faced the A's 4 times in the postseason since 2012. He pitched 31 innings, just 1 earned run, and 43 strikeouts. Of course, JV was named to his 9th career All-Star game. With him pitching today, Dusty Baker confirmed that Justin will not throw in LA. They want him healthy for what's ahead. And when I talked to Astros pitching coach Josh Miller about Verlander and what he's been able to do this year, he said it's crazy. JV just does his thing, does his business, kind of like we're along for the ride and we're there for support as he goes. But it's been crazy to see, remarkable to watch just how he picked up where he left off in 2019. It's like he didn't miss a beat. Still a future Hall of Famer, a Cy Young Award candidate, and he does it every time he takes the ball. TK.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch his 17th start this year coming off Tommy John as he misses on the first 2 to Elvis Andrus. He has been attacking the zone. That whip continues to be outstanding. 71 hits allowed coming into today in 103 1/3 innings. This ball into center field on the 2-0 pitch. Jake Myers has it lined up though as Elvis Andrus lines out to center for the first out.
MLB ranks since coming over to the Houston Astros. 54 wins is good for 4th. That opponent batting average at 184, extremely good. And again, that whip number, we keep harping on it because it's so amazing. It's that far below 1. That is a large sample size with a minimum of 400 innings pitched. He is constantly in the zone and constantly frustrating hitters.
Here's Sky Bolt coming off a career best 3-hit game last night, including a 2-run home run that kind of separated things in the 9th inning, made it a 5-1 Oakland lead. Has 3 career home runs, including the one last night. That one tapped foul. Verlander has faced a few of these hitters in the lineup, especially Elvis Andrus. That was his 75th career at bat against JV, but most guys haven't seen Verlander in this lineup, including the hitter Sky Bolt at the plate. This ball hit into left center field for a base hit. He played there by Jake Myers, and Bolt continues his fine series. He now has hits in his last 4 at bats as he hits an 0-2 pitch into left center for a 1-out single.
Wanted that fastball in to tie up Bolt, but it stayed out over the plate. He took advantage of it.
Here's Sheldon Noisy. Noisy getting a start as the DH today. 6th time this year he has been the A's designated hitter. Most of his starts have been at third base, but he's been playing Vimeo machine over there more recently. So in addition to Andrus with those 75 career bats, the only other 2 in the lineup that Verlander has faced, Seth Brown and Ramon Laureano. And I think for Justin, even though he's an incredible preparer and a student of the game, and he looks at videos and watches tendencies and he knows what is on paper about hitters, I think for him, seeing guys live gives him an advantage because he's so good at reading hitters and swings that facing these guys for the first time, I think, is a learning curve as much for JV as it is for the guys at the plate.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, because there is a lot of old school with the new school since coming over to the Astros for Justin Verlander. And those veterans that have faced guys, they understand how hitters react to their pitches and can adjust off that.
Now he drops in a breaking ball, and Noisy down to the count 0-2.
That's where he and Maldonado work well together, is they have a game plan before they come in. This is how we want to attack guys. But if they recognize some swings where a pitch might be more effective, they'll deviate a little bit and adjust off that to see if they can't take advantage of some swings.
Picked by Maldi on a pitch down and away, 1-2. A's come in with the lowest batting average and lowest on base percentage in the major leagues. .211 batting average, .272 on base percentage. Those are historically low numbers in the last 100 years of baseball. That one bouncing away from Maldonado, and that'll allow Sky Bolt to advance to second base on the wild pitch.
Looked like a power slider down and away.
Last time Justin faced the A's, he only allowed 2 hits in 7 innings. He's allowed 2 hits here in the first 2 innings. Oh, buckled Noisy. He was trying to hang in there, but he broke in that breaking ball for a called third strike.
Yeah, he jelly-legged him. Watch the hitter. Whoa. His legs just gave out. Then he witnessed the greatness of a Justin Verlander curveball as it went by, unable to pull the trigger.
Now Dermis Garcia getting his first major league start. Came on, made his major league debut in Arlington Swings and misses at that first pitch. Garcia batted in that 8-run 12th inning for the A's. Picked up an RBI double in that inning. He got his first major league hit and his first major league RBI in extra innings of that game in Arlington on Tuesday. Longtime Yankees minor leaguer. Signed a minor league deal with the A's and now making his first major league start. Not the guy you always want to make your first major league start against.
Well, at least someday you can tell your kids you face Justin Verlander no matter the outcome. But yeah, heck of a first start.
That wild pitch, by the way, was the first one Justin's.
Is that the first one all year?
Thrown all season.
Wow.
103 2/3 innings in until his first wild pitch.
He's got some juice in that right arm right now. Last two pitches, 98 and 97.
Deep breath here as he has fallen behind 3-1 on Garcia. Last year at Double-A, he led his Double-A Northwest League with 31 home runs. Excuse me, Double-A Northeast League with 31 home runs. Now he's down to the count, or even with the count 3-2. He's back to a full count.
Slider's working well, throwing it in a fastball count, getting Garcia guessing and out in front.
JB with 3 strikeouts in this game. Making 4 as he gets Garcia to end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the second. Verlander strikes out Noisy and Garcia. Astros coming to the bat in the second inning. It'll be Kyle Tucker, Aledmus Diaz, and Yuli Gurriel. Thrown out by NASA astronaut Ann McLean. Pretty good pitch right there to Corey Lee, who made the pick. And joining us in the broadcast booth, Lieutenant Colonel in the U.S. Army, NASA astronaut, and 2013 part of that class. Thanks for joining us. And how did that first pitch go? Of all the things you've done as an astronaut, how did that one rank?
Well, I think I would have needed to have a swinging strike for it to be called a strike. But I've seen some people swing at the bouncers.
There you go.
The arm looked good. Do you have experience around softball, baseball?
Grew up playing softball, played D1 softball in college, and then actually did play one season of men's baseball, but that was about 23 years ago.
Really?
That's incredible.
So wait, at Gonzaga, you were a softball player?
At West Point.
Oh, at West Point.
Go Army softball.
There you go. So you were ready. You were ready when you took the mound today.
There's only so ready you can be. And of course, standing next to these guys, you got guys like Verlander on the mound. It's hard to look that great, but it was a lot of fun. Well,
tell us about today being a special NASA day here at the stadium at Minute Maid Park as we celebrate the anniversary of Apollo 11 and what that means to you as a current astronaut.
Absolutely, yeah. Houston's a great place to live. It's where the whole astronaut corps has lived and trained since the Apollo era, and now we're training for Artemis. So the Houston Astros are our hometown team, and we like to come up and support them. But we're busy down south, the Johnson Space Center, Artemis missions by 24, 25, hopefully get some boots back on the moon, and continuing our support of the International Space Station.
So how did you get excited about becoming an astronaut? Is that something you dreamt about?
Not hard to get excited to be an astronaut. I think a lot of people watching today probably would jump at the opportunity. I wanted to be an astronaut ever since I was about 3 years old and just never gave up the dream.
Is that right? You knew that early?
That's what I told my mom when I was 3 years old, that I was going to kindergarten or preschool to learn how to be an astronaut.
There's a ball roped to the middle of the diamond, but they are in the shift, and Nick Allen makes the play for out number 2. Ann McLean joining us in the broadcast booth. There's some pictures. You were flight engineer for Expeditions 58 and 59, the International Space Center there, Space Station. 58 and 59, you've spent over 200 hours in space, is that correct?
204 days.
204 days, rather, hours, excuse me. 204 days in space. The spacewalks were part of the expeditions
That's
you were
correct.
on. I can't even imagine, for somebody who wanted to do this since age 3, what the first spacewalk was like.
Spacewalks are about the most incredible thing I think that you can do as a human being. You know, our universe is so large. We've seen recent pictures coming back from the Webb telescope that's showing us just how big you know, how much is out there. And so to get to be able to explore it, you know, doing a spacewalk outside the space station, it's really busy. It's 6-7 hours working out in the suit and you know, getting the repairs on the space station. It's incredible looking back at Earth, but Earth is actually really close to us when we're out there, about 250 miles away from the surface of the Earth. And when you're holding onto the side of the space station and you turn around and you look out into the vastness of space, you just realize how small our Earth is, how fragile it is.
It's
and
amazing.
How we're just really all in this together.
So I've been to the Neutral Buoyancy Lab. I've seen that. That's where you train to do the spacewalks and things like that, correct?
That's correct.
What I've asked several astronauts this question. What was it like going from that to that first spacewalk when you went outside?
It's a little bit different being out in space for real. The way I describe it is, you know, the Neutral Buoyancy Lab, it's tough physically, a little easier mentally, and then out in space, it's a lot easier physically because you don't have gravity to work with.
Okay.
You don't feel like you're getting beat up like a rugby match, I like to say. But of course, mentally, it's a lot tougher. The stakes are higher. You know, your life, you're really on the edge of what humans can survive. And you're working on a very delicate piece of equipment, the International Space Station. You know, there's a lot of people around the world that put a lot of time into that, so you want to make sure that you do your job correctly.
It's awesome.
Incredible athletic background. You mentioned rugby. Rugby's part of your background too, right?
I did play rugby, yes.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you had all the sports covered. Now, that expedition, I know you guys were doing so many experiments on those 58, 59 expeditions. Jake Myers follows up Yuli Gurriel with a base hit, and you guys were trying to find devices that were kind of replicating what the human system did, smaller organs. I know it's 2 outs, it's probably hard to get into some of the details, but that seems like an incredible part of those expeditions.
Well, hopefully we'll have a lot of time in this inning to get into
that
a
would
little
be
more.
good.
But yeah, the International Space Station, it's a national orbiting laboratory. We've had people up there for about 22 years continuously. We've got hundreds of science experiments going on every day, learning how to live and work in space and how it affects our human body. So we study ourselves in space. You know, we draw our own blood. We do a lot of ultrasound, look at our human body, and then we do a lot of experiments inside of the space station for other principal investigators. So it's a national laboratory.
You talked about the future of NASA, Artemis, potentially getting back to the moon. What's the future for you inside NASA?
Hopefully all of that. You know,
that'd be outstanding.
I'm going to stay there as long as they'll keep me. The trick is to, you know, stay healthy and always raise your hand for the next mission.
Beautiful.
Currently, about 45 active astronauts? Are we right around there?
That's right about right.
Okay, so it's an exciting time right now as you guys ramp up for Artemis. Chaz McCormick bats here with 2 runners on and 2 outs.
What would be your advice to younger female potential astronauts? How would you encourage them, and what would be the route for them to take to get in a similar position that you're in?
I would just say never give up. You know, to accomplish anything, whether you want to be an astronaut, you want to be one of these ball players on the field, you know, it takes thousands and thousands of correct decisions to get your dreams come true, and you can only slip up on one of those decisions and make a poor choice, and all of that can go away. So just keep making the right decisions over and over again. Those add up.
Chaz McCormick trying to make the right decision at the plate here with a 2-1 count. He has hit lefties well all season long as he faces a lefty here, Jared Koenig. Of all the sports you played, was there a favorite?
Whichever one I was playing at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
You were always going after the next sport.
I was going after it. You know, rugby, I played the longest. I was probably the best at because I'm not very coordinated. And
hey.
I played rugby all the way through the national level into my adult life. And so I just stopped playing rugby when I got to NASA, so decided it wasn't worth the injury risk. But just a really great game to learn how to what you're capable of, pushing past physical limits, you know, the mental game, and it's actually translated a lot to success as an astronaut.
Yeah, you actually took the question right out of my mouth, because I was going to ask you how much of your athletic background helps you when you're out there in space.
It's a ton. You know, space is a team sport, and so what you do to prepare for it, you know, outside of game time, physically and mentally, that leads to the success of the team. And you have to know how to rely on your teammates, and you have to know how to show up for your teammates. Rugby specifically, I think, really translated to training for spacewalks. It's very physically challenging, 6-7 hours in the suit, in the pool, training. You know, you get beat up. It's about the metabolic equivalent of a marathon, so you're physically exhausted. You're coming out with, you know, bruises and cuts, but you also have a job to do, so you have to be, you know, really mentally clear. And to me, that was like the 60th minute of a rugby match.
It's incredible. You said something before we came on air. You asked if you could cheer. Are you an Astro fan, legit Astro fan?
I love baseball. I have a few of my favorite teams, and so I watch a lot of baseball.
That's awesome.
What's a big spot here? Bases loaded, 2 outs. Martin Maldonado, who's been having a good month of July at the plate, as he takes a pitch just off the plate for a ball 1-0. This whole rally started with 2 outs and nobody on, so you're bringing a little good luck up here in the booth. I don't know if you know this, but when we had our Apollo 11 anniversary a few years ago, we actually had Rick Armstrong, the son of Neil Armstrong, here in the booth, and the Astros scored 11 runs. Here's a ball hit to deep left center field all the way back. We have a slam!
Cheer. Let it go.
That just happened.
Grand
Astros.
slam! Martin Maldonado! The Astros score 4 on one swing of the bat. How about that?
That one was in orbit.
Timing is everything. You want to do a little analysis on this one? We call that a hanging fastball. Martin Maldonado absolutely laying into it. We got launch angles, we've got exit velocities, and we've got a grand slam. Big swing for Martin Maldonado out of that 9th spot. The Astros are on the board in a big way.
Maldy's 3rd career grand slam, hit one back in 2012. That was his 2nd major league season with the Brewers, but his first really full season, if you will. And then 2021, he got another one for the Astros, so now 2 in 2 years. Something about people tied in with NASA.
Seriously.
And
This
astronauts.
is Space City.
Yeah.
Our home runs are like multi-stage rockets. They have so much acceleration.
Absolutely.
Ann McClain, thank you so much. We appreciate the time.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you so much.
Glad that happened. Good to see you.
Thanks for
Best of
having
luck
me.
on everything.
Good luck with everything. Ann McClain joining us here on NASA Night, and there are the Space City uniforms going crazy out by the home run pump. Ann was pretty fired up as well.
You want to choose one Astros superstar to start Game 7 of a World Series. Who would you choose? Nolan Ryan or Justin Verlander? You can head over to our Twitter account at ATTSports.SW to cast your vote. And I'll have those results coming up later on the broadcast. I'm actually scrolling through Twitter right now, and TK and Blood, everyone wants Ann to stay in the booth for the rest of the game.
She's more than welcome to if she keeps getting results like that.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. It's amazing. We have Rick Armstrong up here. They get 11 on Apollo 11 day. We have Ann McClain up here and picks up a grand slam.
And she also gave me another saying that I can use now, multi-stage rocket.
There you go. That could be right in Blummer's wheelhouse.
Heck yeah. I'll find a way to make that work.
Blummer, I think that was the first time that we actually had a better athlete in the booth than you.
I know, for real.
Right?
There's no way I'm playing rugby.
No.
Even that guy's laughing at my athletic ability.
No,
but
no.
She is a multi-sport athlete. And it was really cool to hear. You know, I'm always fascinated to hear, you know, people who work in that extreme industry, whether it be military, space, things like that, hearing them talk about their athletic background and how the mentality of playing the sport helps them in much more intense atmospheres than we play in.
Yeah, that rugby background is legit. When you play at the national level for rugby,
Honestly.
yeah, that's getting it done. 1-2 the count, and there's a called 3rd strike. JB walks off the mound with strikeout number 5 as he starts the 3rd inning, getting Nick Allen for the 1st out.
Doesn't get much better than that. Just cutting through that outside corner.
That moves him up to 15th place, tied with Kurt Schilling with that strikeout. Number 3,116 in his career. He's got Bob Gibson one away for number 14. Some big names on that list.
Yeah, they just keep getting bigger and bigger, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And you are in rarefied air. You're like on a space mission right now when you get up to those names. Verlander now one away from Bob Gibson, tying Kurt Schilling for 15th all-time in Major League Baseball history. Vimiel Machine was problematic in terms of extending his first at bat before Verlander got him to ground out in the first inning. Or Martin Maldonado grand slam against Jared Koenig. And the Astros lead this game 4-0. Astros' 4th grand slam of the year. This one line toward third, and Alex Bregman is there to put it away for out number 2.
Think you know who will take home the home run title from LA? Enter the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge and compete to win $100,000 at MLB.com/bracket or on the MLB Play app. Restrictions apply. See rules.
Here's Ramon Laureano, who struck out his first time up. Verlander 5 strikeouts, first time through the lineup, delivers a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Verlander working with 4 runs today. Last time he faced Oakland, got a no decision, went 7 innings of 3-run baseball. Game the Astros won at the Oakland Coliseum 5-4. This ball hit well into left field, all the way back. McCormick, he'll watch this one go off the base of the wall. Pretty nice play by Chas with the bare hand. Laureano's going to get into second either way, but Chas played that about as well as possible as Laureano has a 2-out double.
Came off the bat at 105.9. Didn't quite get it as elevated as he wanted. Laureano was able to get the barrel to it.
That's the 3rd hit allowed by Verlander, the first extra base hit, and now here's Sean Murphy. Murphy chopped one off the plate that ended up a single his first time up, and takes this fastball inside for a ball, 1-0. Tried to hold up. That's a swing. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Wow. Good breaking ball. A lot of the spin looking good for JV today.
Spin looks good. We've seen a few 96s and 97s with the fastball. There's a good slider. It's now 1-2, or that's a curveball, 1-2. On the year, averaging about 95 with the fastball. Today, we've seen that up a little bit. Got him. Verlander picks up a strikeout. 2 strikeouts in every inning, 6 in the game. JV and the Astros lead 4-0.
How about the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission? The Astros absolutely went to town on July 22nd of 2009 for 11 runs in the first 3 innings as they went out and beat the Oakland A's 11-1. This is that game that TK was referencing, where we had Rick Armstrong in the booth when they put up a 7 spot. Jordan Alvarez doing his best impression of trying to launch something to the moon. But what an evening that was. Exciting all the way around.
The Astros getting a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 2nd inning on a Martin Maldonado grand slam. Here's Jeremy Pena leading off. Pena takes a called strike. Jeremy struck out his first time up. Koenig came out of the gates with strikeouts of Altuve and Pena. Since then, no strikeouts as Pena grounds one to third. Female Machine makes the play. Pena retired for the first out of the third inning. There's Koenig, the lefty, who is making his 5th major league start. Alex Bregman pops up, his first time up. Bats here with 1 out and nobody on. Takes a called strike. Bregman now a month into that run since June 17th. Today being July 16th, so a month in where he has hit .318 over a month. Has a .982 OPS. That fan happy with that foul ball catch. 0-2 on Bregman. Stays alive at the plate. Astros starting that rally in the second inning with 2 outs and nobody on. Yuli Gurriel and Jake Myers with back-to-back singles. A walk to Chas McCormick to load the bases. Then Martin Maldonado hitting the grand slam. Swing and a miss. Koenig has a strikeout. He has struck out the top 3 in the order once. Second out of the inning.
Let's go back to that Apollo 11 night. Yordan Alvarez went into launch mode. Just hit a majestic shot as his scoreboard avatar watches it go flying by. Couldn't have set up more perfect on a night recognizing NASA as he launched one past himself in that astronaut uniform.
On the ground towards the middle of the diamond, Tucker flips the bat away in disgust as a 7-pitch inning for Jared Koenig as he rebounds after the grand slam in the second with a 1-2-3 third.
On social media. Get game highlights, player interviews, and special giveaways by finding us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All thing Astros all season long at AT&T Sportsnet. And we do have an update on Lance McCullers Jr. He took a live BP today pitching to Jose Siri and JJ Matajevic. He pitched 2 innings, threw in the low 40s, which was good since the last time he pitched was in the mid-30s, so he ramped it up a little bit. He said his stuff feels really good. He said the sinker movement isn't quite right yet, but he said it could be a lot of factors, probably more mechanical than anything, but other than that, everything feels super crisp. He threw probably 15 to 16 breaking balls, a bunch of changeups, a couple cutters and sinkers. So what's next? Well, that's the good question. He said this is the end of his rehab that they had come up with back in spring training. He's right on track, which is a good thing. His next step will be up to the team and the training staff, but he said he thinks a game could be coming up. He's feeling like that, feeling extremely healthy, bouncing back well, really encouraged, and continuing to just trust in the rehab. But like he said, this is where the calendar ran out when they planned it out. So a game is the next step for Lance, and he said he's feeling ready for it.
All right, that's good news. We're getting closer as Lance threw today before the game and a couple of simulated innings. That was good to see. He was in full theme mode today as he went with the Space City top during the simulated innings on this NASA night here at the ballpark. So it'll be a great sign if in fact the next step for Lance is to pitch in a rehab assignment. Then you can start to project when he might be here at the big league level.
Well, there's a couple of things. You might be able to project when he will be back, and I agree with you in the sense that it is good news that things are moving in the correct direction. He's not having any setbacks. So you have a little bit better idea of the time frame, and then you might be able to kind of guess what they're going to use him as. Is he going to be able to come back and work into the rotation? Is he going to work out of the bullpen? Those are some of the things that they need to work out, but the encouraging sign is that the health is there.
They are not jumping ahead. They are making sure they hit every mark and check every box before they deem Lance ready to go in a minor league rehab game. Here's Elvis Andrus tried to hold up, but he goes too far, says Malachi Moore. It's 0-1. Elvis is befuddled, thinking he had definitely checked his swing there.
Well, we get to judge in the booth and out at home, right at the borderline of the front of the plate. full deflation.
Elvis knows, even though he has hit .297 in his career against JV,
He went on that one.
It's not been an easy road against Verlander. 19 of his 22 hits have been singles, 3 have been doubles.
Man, this curveball can create some awkward swings, can it? Yes, no, maybe.
Line drive, and that's a base hit. Verlander gets ahead 0-2, and Elvis Andrus has matched up 76 times with him and now has 23 hits. That's one that JV is probably regretting, as he got ahead 0-2 with that ugly swing, and then he gets a base hit on him.
Yeah, that slider just caught way too much of the plate. He probably wanted this down off the plate. It just ended up backing up in the middle part of the plate. And Elvis Andrus was the grateful recipient.
So now here's Sky Bolt, who singled his last time up. It's 4 hits for the A's. They've actually out-hit the Astros now 4-3. There's a called strike. A 22nd career hit for, or 23rd career hit for Elvis Andrus, moves him into 4th place all time against Justin Verlander. Most hits against JV. Billy Butler owns the most hits against Verlander in his career. Then Joe Mauer and Salvi Perez, a couple of catchers with 26, and now Elvis Andrus with 23. Fortunately for JV, he's been a teammate of Michael Brantley the last few years, because Brantley's got 22 hits on him in his time with Cleveland. There goes the runner. The pitch is down. Maldonado's throw, not quite in time. Quick tag made there by Jeremy Pena. It looked like Andrus would be easily safe, but Baldy's throw was right on the money.
Yeah, the throw and the tag picked up some time and made that play really close at second base. Astros are not going to challenge this, but Maldi did a good job getting that down there, and I credit Jeremy Pena with the quick catch and tag.
Ooh. Surprised they're not challenging.
Yeah, that might have had an opportunity. It looks like he got that elbow before the hand got in.
He's
there.
Out. Oh, man. Astros elect not to challenge that. And there's a swing and a miss, 2-2.
That might have been enough for me, TK.
Yeah, I you know, it's 4-0, but
yeah,
every run counts, and surprised that that one was not challenged. It's the 4th inning. It's not.
Well, Machete gets caught stealing out of it too. Help those percentages a little bit. That was a good job by Jeremy Pena. Wasn't one of the better throws we've seen from Machete, but again, we're spoiled with everything he throws being on the money. But Jeremy Pena did a good job of getting that down quick.
And Dusty and his coaching staff are just the messengers in this case. It's behind the scenes where they do the reviews that makes the decisions. 2-2 pitch is grounded foul. So Andrus with his 5th stolen base of the year on that close play with Maldonado, making a great throw. Bolt staying alive at the plate. Bolt has a hit now in his last 4 at-bats. Had a couple of singles and a home run last night. His last 3 at-bats drove in 3 runs. Now batting here with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Going down and in, 3-2. Sheldon Noisy on deck, the DH. Called third strike. He dotted him up on the outside edge at 97. Strikeout number 7 for Verlander.
Great job by Justin. Curveball, sliders, fastballs up and in, and all of a sudden you've got 2 strikes on you. You're waiting for that breaking ball, and it just never breaks. Beautifully located.
Verlander wears number 35, but he's now number 14 on the all-time strikeout list as he passes the great Bob Gibson.
Wow.
Passing Curt Schilling and Bob Gibson here in the last couple of innings. There's a strike, 0-1.
98.
He is feeling it today.
Yeah.
Working with 8 days of rest since his last start against Kansas City on July 7th. Up the middle, played by Pena to his left, and that will do it for the A's in the 4th inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Verlander rolling along with a 4-0 lead. Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, we take you back to July 16th. On this date, 1987, when Ken Caminiti in his Major League debut would hit this ball off the wall in right center field for a triple. He would follow that up with a home run against the Phillies' Kevin Gross. Ken Caminiti, a home run and a triple in his big league debut, part of an Astros 2-1 victory.
He actually scored the winning run in that ball game. It was a walk-off. Gerald Young got the base hit, and Cammy scored the game-winning run.
How about that?
Yeah, big day for Cammy.
So triple home run, then he got on again and scored the game winner.
Walked in the 9th and scored on a Gerald Young base hit.
There you go. So Ledmus Diaz leading off here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Diaz, Yuli Gurriel, and Jake Myers facing Jared Koenig for the 2nd time around. Ledmus taking 3 out of the zone. It's now a 3-0 count. Koenig has had 2 perfect innings, and the Astros scored 4 against him in the 2nd. There's this portion of the lineup from Yuli Gurriel, who's on deck, all the way through Martin Maldonado, the 6 through 9 hitters who scored the 4 runs. That's down and in. Ledmus Diaz will draw a walk here to start the bottom half of the 4th. That'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. He got things started with a base hit with 2 outs. Yuli had the day off yesterday, coming off that late arrival from Anaheim. Yuli and Jose Altuve, Ledmus Diaz, and Martin Maldonado, all with a day off yesterday in a 5-1 loss. Yuli takes a called strike. Astros seeing their 3rd consecutive left-handed starter against them. Reed Detmers pitched the final game Thursday in Anaheim, and then Cole Irvin pitched well last night in a start. Now Jared Koenig, the 3rd consecutive lefty starter here. Uncertain who the A's will start tomorrow. They're still trying to figure that out for the final day before the All-Star break. Yuli punches one down the right field line, and that's going to be foul. Yuli never let go of the bat, so he had a pretty good idea that was dropping foul. One of the unique quirks for Yuli Gurriel is when he hits the ball well, he fires that bat away. Seems like the better he hits it, the further the bat goes. That time he popped one up, kept the bat with him. There's a line drive. That one will flip the bat away. That's a base hit. First and second, nobody out. Yuli 2 for 2.
Some good swings from Yuli. You watch contact, then you see the bat release because he knows he got that base hit up the middle. Good job of pulling the hands in by Yuli. Seeing the ball well out of Koenig's hand.
Now Jake Myers, who had a base hit his first time up. That base hit for Jake his first time up snapped his longest offer of his career. He had been 0 for his previous 13. Had an 0 for 12 at one point last year, but it was 0 for 13 before the base hit earlier. Slowly hit towards Andrews with Myers running. It'll be tough to turn two. He beats the relay throw. The Astros will have runners on first and third with one out. We'll set it up for Chaz McCormick. McCormick has been really good this year against left-hand pitching. Chaz walked and scored a run his first time up. Last night he had a double and scored the only run against Cole Irvin. Now he bats in an RBI opportunity, first and third, one out. Chaz has a .957 OPS against lefties coming in. Takes a fastball off the plate, 1-0. A's played their infield back, hoping to turn two here with Aledmus on third base and Jake on first. Plate 2-0. Chaz has seen 7 pitches today. 6 have been off the plate. Koenig's first major league start came against the defending world champion Atlanta Braves on the road. And his second start came at Fenway against the Red Sox. Then his home start, he won the game 5 2/3 scoreless. And his final start before today was at Kansas City. He has struggled on the road this year as he makes his 4th road start of his big league career. Picks up a strike on the outside edge, 2-1. More earned runs than innings pitched on the road this year. 17 earned runs in 16 innings. That one a strike, 2-2. There's a line drive base hit. Chaz McCormick drives in run number 5. RBI single, scores Aledmus Diaz. Astros in front 5-0.
Good job by Chaz and Fizz taking that curveball into left field. This one coming right back to him. Able to go out there and extend those arms. Get that RBI knock.
So here's Maldi, already has his season high with 4 runs batted in with 1 swing. 5 is his career high in runs batted in. He's got 2 on here with 1 out and a big swing, no contact.
Trying to get himself another one. This is that grand slam swing. 106 off the bat. Launched up by the home run pump out there in left field. 416-foot bomb. Martin Maldonado.
Kane comes back with a curveball. It's 0-2.
Maldi trying to lean back on him again. Taking some good swings.
That one into center field, playable for Sky Bolt. A center fielder puts it away. That'll be the second out of the inning. Join the Astros Buddies Club presented by HEB today for just $30. Kids age 12 and under will receive a Buddies jersey, drawstring bag, hat, lanyard, and 4 tickets to an Astros game. Join the official kids club of the Astros today at astros.com/buddies. Here's Jose Altuve. Altuve looking for his first hit of the game. Altuve DH'd once last year, DHing for the second time this season. Protecting that sore left leg, left knee area as he fouls one out of play. Altuve hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance on Thursday in Anaheim. Stayed in the game, scored a run, but then left before he took the field in the bottom half of the first inning. They weren't entirely sure if Altuve would be ready to play today, so they had him test things out before the game, and he was a go to play, but only as a hitter, not in the field today. It's 1-1 to Altuve. Altuve coming into this game against lefties had an OPS of 1118 on the year with 7 home runs. Helmet flies off as he misses that pitch. It's 1-2.
Pretty healthy swing by Jose.
Little chopper towards third. Glove there by Machine. He'll step on the bag ahead of Jake Myers for the force out. That'll do it for the Astros in the 4th, but they add to their lead with a walk and a couple of hits. Chas McCormick makes it 5-0.
Them to you. He's got a couple on the slider, a couple on the 4-seam, even one on that curveball. With those 7 strikeouts, passing Bob Gibson on that all-time strikeout list. He's done it on pretty effectively. And how about the pitch usage in 2019 to 2022, and then that last start against Kansas City, where he said he didn't have the feel for that slider, so he got on that curveball a little bit more. And that's the beauty of Justin Verlander, is he's able to adjust from start to start, feel which pitches are working for him, and make the adjustment in the sense that he can go out there and strike you out with 3+ pitches between that fastball, curveball, and slider.
Threw a few more curves last inning. He's got 72 pitches through 4 as he faces Dermis Garcia here. Garcia struck out his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. And he's fallen behind 0-2.
It's a tough pitch to pull.
Garcia, 24-year-old out of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He is the 22nd rookie to play for the A's this year.
Wow.
49 players already have suited up for Oakland. And the 22 rookies is already a franchise mark.
Plenty of season left.
They had 21 rookies play in 08. And already 22 in 22, with Dermis being the 22nd rookie. Yeah, there's a chance that's going to be extended, you would think, in the second half. A's in a complete remake right now. Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Sean Manaea, Chris Bassett all moving on to other teams after last season. There's a good chance Frankie Montas might follow before the trade deadline this year. Line drive off the glove of Bregman. No play for Alex. He got a glove on it but couldn't quite come up with that line drive. Dermis Garcia is going to reach with his second major league hit.
Tough to tell from that angle what happened. Alex actually extending, reaching across his body. Just able to knock it down and keep it from being a double.
Here's Nick Allen, who struck out looking, and he fouls one back. Allen, another rookie for the A's, has played mostly at second base, but some starts at short as well. Very good defensive second baseman and one of their top prospects coming into this season. Owen drops
into the zone
for a ball, 1-1. Allen last year was part of Team USA in the Olympics. As he sends this one into right center field, that'll be down for a hit. Dermis Garcia will hold up at second base. Back-to-back hits here for the 8 and 9 hitters for the Oakland A's. Allen follows Garcia. They now have 6 hits, 1 in every inning.
Nick Allen did a good job of getting the hands above that baseball. Not having that curveball called on him help him get to that fastball in that count.
Still nobody out. Top of the order. Here's Vimiel Machine, who is grounded out and lined out to Bregman. Verlander with the record of 11-3, one of 3 major league pitchers with 11 wins on the year. 3 losses for JV. The Astros have scored a total of 1 run for him in those 3 losses. Took the loss in his first start against Los Angeles and Anaheim. This ball towards the middle. Pena will step on the bag, and that'll be an easy turn for a double play. Vimiel Machine grounding one right to the bag at second. And there's 2 outs.
That'll help the cause for Justin Verlander. Pretty easy play up the middle for Jeremy Pena, who's playing right behind the bag in that shift. Make sure the grab, step on the base, leisurely throw across.
Now Verlander will go after Ramon Laureano with 2 outs and a runner on third. Good job as well by JV. I think your natural reaction is to go after that comebacker, but he knew exactly where Pena was positioned.
Did a great job.
He just let that ball go and turned into an easy double play. First pitch to Laureano's a ball, 1-0. Verlander went 6 innings in his last start, threw 100 pitches in that outing against Kansas City. Orioles picked up 7 hits in that game. That one catches the inside edge. It's 1-1. JB, as he likes to do, working out of the windup with a runner on third and 2 outs. Close one there. It's 2-1. Probably not the kind of pitch count Verlander will be able to go much more than 6 today. We mentioned last start 100 pitches in 6 innings. This start he's at 87 right now as we play with 2 outs in the 5th. That one popped up foul, out of play. Verlander has a strikeout in every inning, struck out 2 in the first, second, and third, struck out 1 last inning. Does not have a strikeout here in the 5th.
He's also had an inning's worth of foul balls in this game.
Yeah. That ball punched towards short. Jeremy Pena will put it away for the final out of the inning. Double play helps Justin Verlander get through the 5th after a couple of leadoff hits. We're halfway home. It's Houston 5, Oakland nothing. By HEB. No store does more than my HEB. And by Rooms to Go. Get one-stop shopping plus decorating made easy. That's Rooms to Go. One big swing today for Martin Maldonado. Had the Astros out in front 4-0. It's now 5-0. Happy 101st birthday to Manny.
That's doing it.
He's getting the job done. Nicely done, Manny. Jeremy Pena, 0 for 2, leading off here in the 5th inning. Jared Koenig facing this lineup for a 3rd time through. 28-year-old rookie giving up runs to the bottom part of the lineup, but he's controlled the top of the lineup as Pena grounds 1-2 short. Played there by Elvis Andrus. 1 through 4 in the lineup. Now 0 for 10 on the game as Pena now 0 for 3. It's a guy that's not going to overpower you. It's kind of keep you off balance. 3 strikeouts today.
You almost feel like you see the ball for too long. You get some late swings, but he's given up 5 runs. It hasn't been overpowering except for that one swing from Martin Maldonado.
Bregman didn't mean to, but he put the ball in play on a check swing, and he'll be out on 1 pitch. There's 2 quick outs for Koenig in the 5th. Now a word from Reliant.
Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Astros.
2 pitches and 2 outs in this inning, and here's Kyle Tucker. Tucker was almost an auto take there after 2 quick outs. It's 0-1. Trying to help out his veteran starter, Justin Verlander, get a little bit of a breather. This inning has seen 4 pitches so far as Tucker's down to the count 0-2. Tucker was frustrated his last at bat after he grounded out. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out today. Tuck just 3 for 24 over his last 7 games. This one into the shift as a ground ball headed towards Nick Allen. That'll be a 5-pitch inning for Jared Koenig. All ground outs in the 5th. We head to the 6th. It's still 5-0.
Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 18th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then catch the 92nd MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 19th on Fox. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Central Time. The Astros with 5 All-Stars this year, but Jose Altuve confirmed to us today that he will not be heading to LA after taking the pitch to the leg on Thursday. He's going to use that time to stay back here in Houston, get treatment, and get right for that second half of the season. But Framber Valdez did say today he expects to pitch in the game. And Kyle Tucker, when he was in LA with you guys, he was getting blinged out, got some extra jewelry. He said he had a suit ready for the red carpet, but now he's going to change it. So keep your eyes out on what Kyle Tucker's going to be wearing. I'm very interested to see what he goes with.
All right, we'll check that out on the red carpet for Kyle Tucker in his first All-Star Game appearance. You know the guy on the mound will be there. Justin Verlander will not pitch in that All-Star Game as he's pitching today. Tuck will be there.
Tuck's going all in.
Picked out.
It's become a thing to be kind of spruced up on that red carpet now.
Framber's gone with the new hairstyle, getting ready for his All-Star appearance. Looks like we'll have 3 Astros announced at the All-Star Game. No starters now with Altuve not going. I do not believe Jordan Alvarez will make an appearance as he's on the IL. You know, Verlander, Tucker, and Framber out there. With that pitch count where it is for Verlander in the low 90s as we play here in the 6th inning, Phil Maton begins to warm up. Sean Murphy, the leadoff hitter, number 3 hitter for the A's, fouls one away. It's 1-2. JV had to throw 23 first inning pitches. His lowest pitch count in any inning was the 3rd, where he threw 14 pitches. A's have had a hit in every inning so far, and 6 in the game. Murphy just stays alive, tapping a foul on the first base side. Astros leading after 5, 5-0. The Seattle Mariners are leading their game after 5, 2-1. Seattle has won 12 in a row as they play in Arlington against the Rangers today. Pretty good take by Murphy on that slider down and away. It's 2-2. Murphy, an infield hit, is also struck out. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Verlander as he picks up the first out of the 6th inning.
League leaders are presented by Houston Methodist. 300+ innings, 2.40 ERA or less in the first 90 starts with a team at the age of 35+. And Justin Verlander getting on there with the great Slim Sally, Frank Kitson, some guy named Cy Young. Justin Verlander's introduced himself to that award a couple of times, but Justin Verlander getting on that list with some legendary pitching.
JB, the only one in the last 100 years.
Unbelievable.
Real Slim Sally, please stand up. 0-1 the count to Seth Brown.
Got me.
A foul at the plate, caught by Maldonado. It's 0-2.
Slim weighed 180 pounds, so I don't know where he got the Slim from.
Did he?
Yeah.
Look at you looking up Slim
I'm
Shady.
trying to figure out where this name came from.
Oh, it makes sense that he would be a lot less than that, especially back at that time.
That's what I was figuring.
Huh.
He must have been a beast, though. 6'3", 180
Pretty slim.
for Slim.
Verlander ahead 0-2 here. Missing down and in, it's 1-2. So JV pitching today. We mentioned shouldn't see him in the All-Star game because he'll just be on 2 days of rest. So then you start thinking ahead. He could potentially pitch one of the games Thursday against the Yankees, or he could wait and pitch that series in Seattle. Swing and a miss. Justin Verlander now up to 9 strikeouts. Back-to-back strikeouts here are the 3 and 4 hitters. Getting Seth Brown for the second out.
Got the swing on the changeup. Good pitch by JV. Only the second changeup he's thrown in this ball game. Pulling the string on Seth Brown for the strikeout.
Second changeup?
Second.
Wow.
Yep. Whiff rate is 100% on it.
There you go.
1 for 1.
Picking his spots with a change piece. Here's Elvis Andrus, who singled on an 0-2 pitches last time up. Andrus takes one low for a ball. Well, Verlander now with 9 strikeouts has 1 double-digit strikeout game this year when he struck out 12 Mariners on June the 7th. This is his second highest strikeout total of the season, other than that dozen strikeout game. Verlander now with 107 strikeouts on the year in 109 innings. Another one.
Feeling good with the release on that changeup. About swung Andrus into the ground on that changeup.
Last thing Elvis was thinking was a 2-0 change piece.
You're right. Way out in front, way over the top.
Went back to the changeup again, but gets no swing. It's 3-1. Verlander at 103 pitches. High total on the season is 108. He's had 108, 107, and this is his 3rd most pitches in any start at 104. Elvis Andrus 1 for 2 today. Lined out to center his first time up. He stays alive at the plate. Got him. Justin Verlander went back to the changeup again to strike out Elvis Andrus to end the inning. Verlander 6 shutout innings today, striking out 10. Second time this year he's reached double figures in strikeouts.
Struck out the side, getting that last one on the changeup, pulling the string and frustrating another Oakland A's hitter.
6th inning to Aledmys Diaz. Is a little bit low, ball 1. Diaz drew a walk his last time up, scored a run on the Chas McCormick RBI single. Aledmys lined out his first time up. Diaz had the day off yesterday, had his 7-game hitting streak snapped in the final game against the Angels in Anaheim. This is the part of the lineup, Blummer, that has really done the job against Koenig. He has controlled the top of the order.
Pretty incredible to think about with Koenig up there, but that bottom portion of the lineup is absolutely getting it done.
Koenig holding Altuve, Pena, Bregman, and Tucker to 0 for 12. As Diaz goes the other way and slices a foul, that'll be out of play. Ledmus has had a chance to play a lot more lately. Injury to Yordan Alvarez. Ledmus has seen a lot of time in left field. His last 8 games hitting .355 with 7 runs and 7 runs batted in. He takes a pitch off the plate there. It's 3-2. Diaz hits the ball to center field. Back on it goes Sky Bolt. He'll put it away. Ledmus retired for the first out.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, the Astros are well represented in this year's Midsummer Classic. We'll get Michael Bourne's perspective on what draft day was like for him and his father, and we'll recap the best defensive plays of the first half. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded all season long, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
That's about as much as we ever see Justin smile. And why not? I mean, its first half's already passed, but a lot of times you call what happens leading up to the All-Star break the first half. So what a first half for Justin Verlander. Sub-2 ERA with 6 shutout innings today. Trying to win his 12th game of the year, which would be the most in Major League Baseball. 1.89, he drops his ERA down to.
109 1/3 innings in the first half. I mean, it's outstanding. Everything he's done.
Passes Kurt Schilling and Bob Gibson on the strikeout list today.
Yeah, what more do you want?
Ely will be retired for the first time today as he sends a ground ball towards Nick Allen for the second out. Now he's got, and he's been there before, but he's got the whole All-Star festivities to look forward to, knowing he's probably not going to pitch in that game. He won't pitch in that game.
Yeah, just relax and enjoy it.
He'll get to go ahead and enjoy everything that comes with being an All-Star without having to pitch. What an incredible return from Tommy John surgery we have witnessed from the 39-year-old Justin Verlander.
Yeah, if you had just returned from the International Space Station after about a 3-year hiatus up there and came back, you just say, "What? Well, did he just take a 2-year break?"
Yeah, where's he been?
Yeah.
Because he's the same guy that
and
we
we
saw.
told you that he had Tommy John surgery, you'd probably be like, "Come on, you're lying."
There is nothing different from 19 to 22.
That is what gets me, and I don't think people talk about it enough, is that yes, he had a major arm surgery, but at the same time he left us as a Cy Young Award winner. He came back to us as a Cy Young contender.
It's remarkable. We knew it was uncharted waters. Never been a power pitching starter at his age to get Tommy John surgery. And he is setting the bar for anybody else who comes through as a power pitching starter of his age.
Yeah.
Way, way up there. As this ball sent towards third, Myers retired. Jared Koenig has another perfect inning. 4 of his 6 innings have been perfect. JV will head back to the clubhouse with his team leading 5-0.
Baby. Cap off the weekend with great baseball and a great giveaway. Visit astros.com/promotions for tickets. TK.
All right, Kaylee, 5-0 as we head to the 7th inning. Phil Maton will take over for the Astros after 6 shutout innings from Justin Verlander.
This will be our Crawford Bach call to the bullpen, getting Phil Maton into this game. 0-1 this season with a 3.65 ERA. 35 strikeouts in those 38 games that he has pitched. He's faced the Oakland A's just a couple of times this season. 2 innings to be exact. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, and struck out 1 Oakland A on the season. In here in relief of Justin Verlander, who was spectacular again.
Yes, he was. JV with that ERA down to 1.89. As Maton will face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters here. Sky Bolt, Sheldon Noisy, and Dermis Garcia. Bolt had one of the 6 hits allowed by Verlander. JV 6 hits, no walks. Struck out 10 today. First pitch is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Bolt finally retired his last time up, struck out looking. That snapped a string of 4 consecutive at-bats with a hit. That one off the plate, 2-0. Going the other way, McCormick to his right will put it away. Bolt retired for the first out here in the 7th inning. Now a word from Jack in the Box.
My $5.99 double bacon cheesy jack combo with double the bacon and double the cheese. Order on the Jack app today.
Maton will now face Sheldon Noisy. Noisy has struck out and grounded out. A's have a similar setup as the Houston Astros in that they are trying to make up games that were postponed due to the lockout that first week of the season during the All-Star break. So the A's will also only have a 3-day break. They will play the Tigers in a doubleheader on Thursday back in Oakland. Then they'll remain at home and face the Rangers and the Astros for the rest of that homestand. The Astros will have the doubleheader here against the New York Yankees and then head out on the road to take on Seattle the very next day. Counts 1-2 on Noisy. Paul Blackburn, the starting pitcher for the Oakland A's, has had a really nice season, will be their representative. Do not see Blackburn in this series. Noisy goes around on that 1-2 pitch. Maton picks up his first strikeout, 2 outs in the inning.
Time now to play Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. We'll give you 3 clues. Early 80s secondary pick. He spelled relief. His boy Elroy. If you know who that Astro is, you can go to Twitter, go to @ATTSportsNetSW. Let us know who you think that Astro is, powered by Reliant. You got to stay tuned if you want to figure out who that Astro is.
Here's Dermis Garcia taking a pitch off the plate. Garcia singled his last time up. He's now 2 for 4 in his big league career. Today is his first major league start. I think at the time it made sense. You want to try and keep the sanctity of a 162 game schedule in place if you can, but the reality of squeezing extra games into the same amount of time is you have a lot of guys that are going to be pretty gassed going into the All-Star break and coming out of the All-Star break.
You are correct. And not just any guys, your all-stars on your team, guys you've been relying on for the first 90, 92 games of the season. You're going to have to give them maybe a little bit of a breather.
There will be a distinct advantage for the Mariners and other teams that do not play during that All-Star break compared to the A's, Tigers, Yankees, Astros, others who have a doubleheader that final day of the All-Star break as Garcia goes down looking for the final out. Great inning there for Phil Maton, picking up a couple of strikeouts in a 1-2-3-7. Seventh inning stretch time. Houston 5, Oakland nothing. Have a slam!
Let it go.
That just happened.
Grand
Astros.
slam! Martin
That's the
Maldonado.
All-State Mayhem moment.
The Astros score 4.
We only make things
On
happen
one
when
swing of the
astronauts are in the
bat.
booth with us. Big things.
How about that?
That was
That
our
one was in orbit.
multi-stage rocket.
And our special guest in the booth, Ann McLean, joining us in the bottom half of the second inning when Martin Maldonado hit that grand slam. Chas McCormick leads off this inning and swings to the first pitch and grounds one towards the shift, where Nick Allen is positioned at the third base side of the bag. McCormick retired for the first time as he grounds out here to start the seventh. Koenig has allowed 5 runs, but he has had 4 out of 6 perfect innings against the Astros today.
Just that one swing by Martin Maldonado, really the only damage done other than a base hit by Chas McCormick driving in Aledmus Diaz. But he has been phenomenal outside of that second inning.
Since the McCormick RBI hit that made it 5-0, Koenig has retired 9 in a row. Now he'll face Martin Maldonado, who hit his 3rd Major League Grand Slam. His last time up, his first one came in 2012. That was against Anthony Bass of San Diego in October of 2012. One of his 8 home runs that year in his first full year with the Brewers. Then last year he hit one against Hyunjin Ryu in Toronto on June 4th. Now today he adds his 3rd. How about that? Koenig now has retired 10 in a row with a behind the back play as he gloves that one without looking behind his back to retire Martin Maldonado.
Yeah. No Player Does More is presented by HEB. Jose Altuve still looking for his first hit here today, but coming into this game is 785 hits against the AL West. That's an MLB best. The next highest, Mike Trout with 622. That is quite the difference, but that's just what Jose Altuve does. He hits the ball. Since entering the league in 2011, he leads the major leagues in multi-hit games with 525, 3+ hit games with 178, and 4+ hit games with 33. Guys.
All right, Kaylee Altuve with 2 outs and nobody on, trying to pick up his first base hit of the game. Jose pops this one high in the air on the infield. Koenig gives a look. It'll be Dermis Garcia and Nick Allen, and nobody catches it. Wow. That ball was up in the air a long time, and nobody went after it. And now Altuve is going to end up on first base with yet another hit against an AL West team.
Nick Allen came out of nowhere.
For the best coverage in the game, here's a look at our T-Mobile coverage cam.
Not sure if Nick Allen forgot that Garcia was on that side of the diamond, but he took control and then it spiraled out of control.
That snaps a stretch of 10 consecutive Astros retired. Here's Jeremy Pena. Koenig retired Martin Maldonado on a very nice behind the back play, and then a pop-up continues the inning that falls in, and Pena will ground one to short. And Koenig works around that pop-up that falls in with only a 6-pitch inning. Jared Koenig, a couple of bad swings against them, but very good against the Astros today through 7. Toyota, we're going to look at the best plays in the StatCast era by Astros outfielders. The only 4 catches at Minute Maid Park since they've been keeping track of catch probability with a 15% chance or less. Josh Reddick, Jake Myers, Jake Marisnick, and last night, Jose Siri added to that group with his play in right field, robbing Sean Murphy of extra bases. Those are the only 4 since 2019 with a catch probability of 15% or less. In 2019, Jake Marisnick had a 5%er against Andrew Benintendi. Alberto Mondesi and Reddick robbed him, and then Jake Myers took one away from Abraham Toro last year. Siri actually got his glove on a 0% catch probability yesterday.
He really did. He was absolutely unbelievable, running all over right field. My gosh. Good pitch by Hector Neris, who's now in the ball game. Didn't get credit for it, but has a 3.65 ERA, and the opponent average against him at 180.
Nick Allen fouls one down the line. Nice catch. Grabbed the chair with one hand. Loved it with the other.
That is a great play. Snagging a line drive while holding your seat. We were just talking about 15% catches or less. Put them on there.
You add to the degree of difficulty when you have to move that chair out of the way. It's 2-1 to Nick Allen. Allen singled into right center field his last time up. The Astros expect him to hit the other way in the outfield. They shade him that way. That one's down for a ball, 3-1.
Oh, yeah, the fist pump, too.
That went up in the air. Who wants it? Back goes Aledmus Diaz. In come these 2 outfielders, and Aledmus says, don't worry about it, I got you covered. Aledmus puts it away for the first out here in the 8th.
Most outs above average since 2018. I think, if I'm reading this correctly, the Astros are out in front. It's a pretty healthy lead. The Astros have been so blessed to have good pitching, but in order to have really good pitching, you have great defense playing behind them, and that's what the Astros do behind these pitching staffs, is make them that much better. They are the enhancers of pitching staffs when you can run down fly balls like we've seen, turtable plays when they need them. We've also been blessed to see a bunch of really good athletes covering the outfield here at Minute Maid Park for the Astros.
And when you think about today's alignment, Chas McCormick in left, he's got as good a numbers analytically as most center fielders this year. You got Jake in center, and you got Kyle Tucker, who is at the top of the defensive run save leaderboard. Your best defensive outfielder, even with those 3 guys playing, might be on the bench in Jose Siri.
He's got the most range, that's for sure. Tuck played center field in the World Series. And we've talked to, you just saw bench coach Joe Espada. We've talked to him a couple of times, and I asked him straight out, I go, when you have a guy like Jose Siri who has that extreme amount of range, can you adjust the corner outfielders because of him? And he said yes. You can put Siri wherever you want in center field. Then you can really move your corner outfielders toward the line to try and cover more ground.
That one the other way. Chaz has him shaded towards the line and puts it away for the second out.
Tomorrow is Kids Day at Minute Maid Park. Take the kids out to the ball game and enjoy special activations in Union Station. Then stick around for Kids Run the Bases. Find tickets at astros.com/kids today.
Two outs, base is empty. Hector Neris looking to match Phil Maton. Maton had a 1-2-3 7th. Here's Ramon Laureano. Laureano taking a strike. That might be Zach Snyder out there in right field. Astros bat boy, ball boy, who made that catch.
Nice.
I'm sure all the fans down in the right field corner are protected, and he was pretty fired up with that catch. Count 1-2 on Laureano. Astros leading 5-0. Both teams with 6 hits, and Neris picks up a strikeout to end the inning. Phil Maton a perfect 7th. Hector Neris a perfect 8th. Astros lead this game 5-0. Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, and Ledmus Diaz do up in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Big swing early on in that second inning with the bases juiced. Martin Maldonado went into launch mode. And it was Chaz McCormick jumping in, adding one more, giving the Astros a 5-run lead. And then Justin Verlander went to work. Had the curveball, slider, fastball, even a couple of changeups mixed in there, working for him today as he continued to go out there and get the swing and miss from Oakland A's hitters. 10 strikeouts in this ball game, and he lowered his ERA to 1.89, putting him just behind Shane McClanahan. But that whip number is very good at .87. Opponents now hitting 194 against him. And with those 10 strikeouts, he moved into 14th place all time in strikeout leaders, passing Bob Gibson. Big night, big afternoon for Justin Verlander.
Alex Bregman will lead off, facing a new pitcher. Jared Koenig went 7 innings for the A's, and Kirby Snead takes over here in the 8th. Bregman 0 for 3 against the starting pitcher, now facing another lefty out of the A's bullpen.
So in a couple of innings against the Astros, through 2 innings back in Oakland, gave up 2 hits, nothing else, had 4 strikeouts. Velocity is going to be an uptick from what we were seeing from Jared Koenig.
And is off the plate, 3-1. Greggy has been on base all but 2 games in his last 45 games played. Hasn't been on base today. Thought he had drawn his 53rd walk of the season. He already leads the American League, but that one called a strike. Is 3-2. Into center field, playable for Sky Bolt. He'll put it away for the first out here in the 8th inning. This Thursday is a full day of Astros versus Yankees baseball. We'll check out the 2 best teams in the American League as they square off during the Thursday doubleheader. It is a split doubleheader, 2 admissions, so you can get your tickets to one or both games against the Yankees at astros.com/tickets. Be the final meeting between the Astros and the Yankees in the regular season. Astros lead the season series 3-2. 2 games they lost in New York. They led by 3 runs in both of those games. Kyle Tucker fouls one away. It's 0-1. A's pitching has really done a good job against the Astros' top 4 in the lineup as Machine puts this one away on Tucker. Top 4 in the lineup now 1 for 16 on the day. The only hit was that pop-up that fell in off the bat of Jose Altuve.
Time now to name that Astro, powered by Reliant. Gave you 3 clues. Early 80s secondary pick. He spelled relief. His boy Elroy. Who is that Astro powered by Reliant? Oh, Chick Ball. Charlie Kerfeld. 5th overall pick in June of 1982. In the secondary draft, 11 wins in relief in 86. Or Lucky Jetsons t-shirt. Learn something new every day.
Ledmus Diaz is the hitter. You see Charlie here every once in a while as a scout.
He is fun to sit down and talk to.
Ground ball foul. Ledmus down to the count 0-2. One big swing by Maldonado. The difference in this game. 6 hits for each side. Astros lead at 5-0. A Martin Maldonado 2-out grand slam in the second inning. And other than that, Jared Koenig didn't allow much in his 7 innings of work. This one down below the zone, 1-2. Astros trying to win their 59th game of the season. Their goal a few weeks ago was to try to get to 60 wins before the All-Star break. They would keep those hopes alive with a win in tomorrow's game. Good inning for Kirby Snead as he gets through the Astros 3, 4, and 5 hitters in order, picking up a strikeout to end the inning. Astros lead 5-0. Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by the Texas Department of Transportation. TxDOT reminds drivers to watch out for pedestrians, so we'll all get home safe. Be safe, drive smart. And by Stuart J.
Poll, if you had to choose one Astros superstar to start Game 7 of a World Series, who would you choose? And 59% of our viewers are going with Nolan Ryan. And you can't go wrong with either one of these guys. Thank you all so much for voting. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. And we'll have another poll question coming your way tomorrow. The finale of this 3-game series between the Astros and the Athletics. TK.
Thanks, Kaylee. New pitcher for the Astros here in the 9th inning. Trying to finish things off is Brian Abreu.
Abreu undefeated on the season, 27 games, a 3.09 ERA, 46 strikeouts in 32 innings. It's the highest strikeouts per 9 ratio in that bullpen for the Astros this season.
Abreu will face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Oakland A's: Sean Murphy, Seth Brown, and Elvis Andrus. First pitch is up and into Murphy, 1-0. Murphy 1 for 3 in infield, hit his first time up, struck out his last 2 times up. 2 of the 10 strikeouts for Justin Verlander in this game. Astros bullpen has picked up an additional 3 strikeouts after Verlander, with Maton picking up 2 in the 7th and Neris 1 in the 8th. There's a base hit into right on a 1-1 pitch. Sean Murphy with his second hit of the game, leadoff base runner for the A's in the 9th. Rangers scored a run in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They've tied up the Mariners 2-2 as they head to the 8th. I'll bring up Seth Brown. Brown 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today. Astros will have Jake Odorizzi on the mound tomorrow, the final game of this series and the final game before the All-Star break. A's have not yet announced their starter. It would be James Kaprielian's turn, but they might elect to go a different route. That one in the dirt, blocked by Maldonado, and Abreu gets ahead 0-2. We'll be on the air 12:30 with our pregame show. 1:10 first pitch. Then tomorrow night will be day one of the free agent player draft. Used to be called the June draft, but now it's taking place in the middle of the All-Star break. Tomorrow will be the first round, and then I'll continue on Monday and Tuesday. Swing and a miss. Abreu picks up a strikeout. 14 strikeouts for Astros pitching today. Abreu's first.
Good slider. Got the draft. You got the futures game.
Yeah, futures games today, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think
Yainer
today.
Diaz is DHing. And you got Hunter Brown was supposed to pitch in the second inning, I believe, of that game. I've been keeping up on that. But I know it's exciting for those guys to be able to get out there. Darren Baker, Dusty Baker's son, is in that game. I know you can't wait for the celebrity softball game. Probably anxious to see what Bad Bunny does.
Yeah. So we got a 6 o'clock local start for the futures game.
Oh, perfect.
It's right in our wheelhouse, just about half an hour away. Watch the post-game show. Get ready for a little futures game with, yeah, right, Yainer Diaz, who was acquired from the then Indians, now Guardians. He'll be batting sixth, DHing in that game. And then we can look for Hunter Brown to pitch that second inning. That'll be coming up after our game. 2-0 to Elvis Andrus. And he takes a slider for a strike. So a lot of baseball activities over the next few days. Even when the Astros and the rest of the major leagues have a 3-day break, 4-day break for some, 5-day break for some. I think Minnesota and the Angels have a 5-day break.
Man, lucky.
Angels wrap up their pre-All-Star break schedule tonight at home against the Dodgers. Then they'll have Sunday through Thursday off.
How do you not play on a Sunday?
And then the Twins don't play on a Friday coming out of the All-Star break.
So weird.
Very unusual. Counts 3-1 to Andrus. There's a strike at the bottom of the zone. The count goes full. A's with that hit by Sean Murphy. More hits than the Astros tonight, 7-6. The Astros with that big grand slam by Martin Maldonado lead this game 5-0. Swing and a miss, got him. Chasing that slider, second strikeout for Abreu. No, it's going to say a foul tip. Foul at the plate, and Andrus thinks he's still alive, although let's take another look, Plummer. There's some discussion at the plate. I don't think he ever touched that baseball.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Andrus is trying to claim that he got a bat on the ball and should be a foul ball off the dirt.
Tough to tell from that angle, but from front on, it didn't seem like it did. Usually you can hear the foul tip.
Take another angle here. I don't see that ball moving at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Vic Carapazza is going to get together with the rest of his umpiring crew to see if anybody has that as a foul ball. It would have to be definitive from the base umpires if one of them clearly saw it, but there was nothing on that replay that showed that he made contact with that. That's going to be a strikeout. So Elvis tried to make his case, but he is down for the second out. Now Sky Bolt, the batter. Bolt 1 for 3, a single in the second inning. Justin Verlander, 6 shutout innings, allowed 6 hits and no walks. Phil Maton pitched the 7th, a perfect inning. Hector Neris, a perfect 8th, and now Brian Abreu trying to work a shutout 9th after a leadoff single. Saw Jose Altuve at the top of the rail. He's ready to go out for handshakes. How much better will his night be now that he ended up 1 for 4 with that pop-up base hit?
Salvage.
That was the ultimate in salvage when the A's infielders didn't catch his pop-up. That one fouled back, 2-1. If Bolt keeps the game going, we'll see the former Astro Tony Kemp as a pinch hitter. He's in the on-deck circle to hit for the designated hitter Sheldon Neuse. Going off the plate, 3-1. Upstairs, ball 4. That'll put 2 runners on with 2 outs. First walk issued by Astros pitching today. Comes with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Tony Kemp will be a pinch hitter. And Dusty did not want to see that second runner get on. You'll see that bullpen move a little bit now. Nice hand from this Saturday afternoon crowd for Tony Kemp, announced as a pinch hitter. Josh Miller is going to come out and have a word with Brian Abreu. Ryan Presley warming up in the Astros bullpen, throwing his first few tosses in the pen. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Houston Astros and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Houston Astros. Ryan Presley, who picked up a 2-inning save a couple of nights ago, was hoping not to have to warm up today, but he is warming up here with 2 on and 2 outs. Astros hoping Abreu will get the final batter here. Down for a ball, 1-0. 19 pitches for Abreu, only 9 strikes. Well, there are different levels of getting heated up, and if Abreu is not able to retire Kemp, Presley is going to have to heat up a little more quickly. There's a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, you hope that isn't the case. You hope Brian can harness some of that nastiness that he has, get in the zone and entice some swings from Tony Kemp, if not some soft contact, and close this thing out.
There's a strike, 1-2. Big crowd today, just like yesterday. 39,434 last night. Today, just about the same, 39,125. Looking for that final strike here from Brian Abreu. He got him. Called third strike to end the game. Abreu strikes out Tony Kemp, and the Astros pick up their 10th shutout of the year. It's a 4-pitcher combined shutout, a 5-0 win Nice little bounce back win, Blummer, to even up this series.
No, that's exactly what it was, TK. We talked about in the open how these guys need to figure out a way to win these next 2 games as they head into that All-Star break. Not only good for them, but good for them individually to have that good feeling as they get some days off headed in there, and they're doing it in good fashion today, following up the 6 shutout innings for Justin Verlander. The bullpen did a great job shutting the game out the rest of the way.
Astros with their 10th shutout of the season. Only 2 major league teams with more shutouts than the Astros. That's something that Vanessa Richardson and Brian Bogusevic can talk about in the Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger. We'll have the highlights, the analysis. A good win for the Astros, 5-0, bouncing back from a 5-1 loss last night. All that coming up on the Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger, coming up next.